talking. Laugh, rewind, it all remains. This is before everything changed. Cartoons, candy, mixtape plays. Back to the mall in the old school days. Kicking it back with stories exchanged. This is before everything changed. Oh, 2 for 5 at Mickey D's. Sears catalogs and memories. Eclectic is taking you back. Just turn the page. Took me for everything changed.
When the people you love come through loud and clear, I love you too. That's AT&T.
This is what we're talking about today. We're talking about phones, the phone, specifically in the 80s. In the 80s, the phone, it was different. First off, no cell phones. It didn't have the big giant bricks unless you worked on Wall Street or were a street corner pharmaceutical rep, let's say. So we had the home phone and the landline. And definitely started with the rotary dial, and you hated if somebody had mad 9s or 0s in their phone number. Also in the 80s, you didn't have to dial people's area codes. It was all local. You just dialed their phone number. That was it. And the joint was mad loud with mad clicks. You couldn't sneak. When you weren't supposed to be on the phone, you couldn't sneak and be on the phone because it was just mad clicks. Mostly with the rotary phone, it stayed in one place. It was a central location, somewhere in the living room, and because the joint was mad heavy, and you wasn't just gonna move it around. But when you upgraded to the phone with the buttons, then you had the long gas cord. Now there was some handheld rotary, but those was going on the wall for the most part. But then when you got the buttons with the long gas cord, because you didn't have money for multiple phones at first. You didn't have money for multiple phones, and you didn't want to get an extra line. It was a whole thing. Call waiting wasn't a thing yet, so couldn't click over. So you had the long gas phone cord. It was like it went through the whole house. Then when you were able to get your own phone, no chance you got your own phone number. But when you got your own phone, I used to hear stories about people with their own number in school, and I was like, nah, what kind of money y'all got? But you call a girl, and like every girl had a mean ass parent or both that didn't want you, me calling them or on their phone. You get a call, you have to wait for them to hang up the other phone because you know they brother or sister was listening. Or you just be like, yo, get off the... And we could hear people breathing. You know, you could... Also, in the beginning, no one had call waiting. So if you call someone and someone was on the phone, that was that. That was it. Just busy signal, call back, go do something, go live life, go explore, go outside. You had to keep calling or chalk it up. And then don't have a mean parent just take the phone off the hook. So, and then you didn't know. So you take the phone off the hook and you call, you get the same busy signal as if someone was on the phone. So you had no idea. It just wouldn't ring and you couldn't get any calls. So that's a wrap. But see, that was the thing. The big difference between then and now is the accent. Well, number one, now I hate talking on the phone. I don't want to be on the phone. I don't want people to call me. The only thing that's worse than being on the phone or talking on the phone is FaceTime. I hate FaceTime. I hate FaceTime because you can't do something else. At least if I'm on the phone, which I don't want to be on the phone, I could throw it on speaker and do anything else. I could clip my toenails. I could surf the web. Watch a TV show. I just put it on mute. I could do anything because I don't want to be on the phone anyway. But if on FaceTime, I got to look. Why am I looking at you? Like when people FaceTime you and have nothing to say, they just want to. You're just being nosy. You want to see in the background where they at or what else is going on, and you demanding all the attention. Hate that. Anyway, let's back to the. So the difference, the big difference is the access. Now you have too much access to everyone because the phone is on you, and they know you have a phone. So if you don't answer it, you could be busy, but you know what I'm saying, you can get right back to them. Back then, phone busy, that's it. Love that. Also, if someone called you and you weren't home, that was it. Either wait, keep calling until they get there, or hope they stop over, or you see them on the street. That's it. You'd have to leave a message and hope they got the message. Then, if someone was on the phone, you'd have to wait till they get off the phone, return the message, or call. Then, if it was 8 p.m., no calling. TV was on, especially on Thursdays. If you know, you know. But it was a wrap. I'll see you at school. We're not talking. But it's like the access. You could be one block down the street. If you weren't there for the call, no, you could be across the street. You could be in the front yard. If whoever didn't feel like getting you to say somebody's on the phone for you, hey, they're not there. It's it. You could technically you could be in the bathroom. if you didn't get to the phone, that's it. So, but you know the access is different. After a while, my mother would never wanted to talk on the phone. And people would call, and she'd be like, "Tell them I'm not home." My stupid ass would be like, "Hey, she said she not home." I learned quick though. I figured it out. But she was right. She was right. I guess when you get older, man, I was like, I'll see you if it's that important. You come over. Nothing's that important to call me on the phone. Never call me. But we were out living in the moment and having fun, and then you know what else? Now there's something to talk about. See, back then you had something because you weren't on the phone together. You weren't always hanging out. So when you finally linked up, there's stories. So it's like now it's like, damn, I followed you on Twitter or X or Instagram or fucking or all the other things. I saw what you was up to. Like, yeah. But back then, if you leave school, you go your way, you get off the bus, you go left, they stay on the bus, they hit their stop, they go right. You living a totally different life. You have no idea what these people are doing. So then when you see them the next day, or if you get on the phone, man, let me tell you what happened. Instead of, nah, I know what happened. I saw it. I saw what happened. Or everyone's talking about that. Yeah, we all seen it. But back then, you actually had some shit that you could talk about. Now, Also, it was super easy to lie.
You ain't lying.
Where were you? Oh shit! Because I called. I was down the street. Didn't get the call. Line busy. Hey, mom's was on the phone. I wasn't talking to nobody.
You ain't lying.
Hey, I went to the store. That's why I missed the call. You can lie. No, it was no caller ID, so you couldn't tell if somebody called. Oh, it was great. Then you had the phone booths. Outside on the street corner for the street corner pharmacists. Or when you couldn't make it home, you throw your dime, your quarter in there and make the call. We had that code that you could dial without putting money in, and you put the number in, and then you like tap the thing like 2 or 3 times and hang up, and then the phone would ring, and then you would watch people go and answer the phone. Why would you answer the phone on the street? But people did. We would just sit there and laugh. I don't know. Look, it was the 80s. We had shit to do. And yeah, phone calls were like a dime and then a quarter. And that was like back when you would call the operator to connect you to someone or to get a number. Because it was, you say, hey, I need a number for this person. And they fucking look up that person and give you the number. Or, can you connect me to this number? Which was stupid because stupid won't you just dial it? But you know what, whatever. Well, we had no internet. We had the yellow pages and we had the operator. And you had to look through the newspaper to see what movies were playing, then call the theater and listen to the recording times. Listen to the recording for the movie times and miss it, and then have to keep listening because it'll loop. And there was the call for the time and weather. Matter of fact, 937-499-1212. I think it still works. That was Ohio. You would call and they'd tell you the time and the weather. I guess if you didn't have a clock. And you didn't have a TV, but they would tell you what the weather. They give you the forecast. You call collect and get off the phone real quick. So, because you call collect. Collect is when the person receiving the call, kids, would have to pay for it. So you call collect and then say, will you accept the call from, you know how all your friends are in jail, the same thing. So you would just call and be like, hey, yo, I'm done at the mall, come pick me up. And then you just hang up. And then they say, you call your people, your parents, and be like, hey, would you like to receive a call from, hey, I'm at the mall, come pick me up. They're like, all right, I got what it is. They don't have to pay for the, we had to do that. That was a thing. No free long distance. It was expensive as hell. Well, at least our parents made us think it was. Calls were like 30 to 50 cents a minute, and you just kicking it with your cousin in fucking Tennessee. Like, yo, get off the fucking phone. And regular calls. We know girls at school look through the phone book for their parents' name and try to find their number. Like, yo, our last name was Johnson. Oh shit, there's 7 billion Johnsons in there. So you had to figure out their parents' name. Oh man, listen, I don't. You had the prank calls and just calling and hanging up on people and talking crazy. Things that we had to do. We didn't have to do, but things we did just to pass the time. Then as time went on, you had the hotlines for the celebrities.
Hello, Heartbreakers. This is Bobby Brown. I've been waiting patiently to tell you about my inner thoughts, my ideas, and my intimate touring stories. I want to share my secrets with you on my personal hotline. If you want to be with me, don't be cruel. It's only $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Remember, I'm waiting, ladies. Don't break my heart. Call now.
Children, get your parents' permission before you dial.
It wasn't no social media. They had hotlines. You call and pretty much hear a recording. You had the party lines where multiple people could be on the call. You had the video game hotline so you can get tips on how to beat games because YouTube didn't exist. You couldn't just go watch people play. Also, you didn't want to watch people play. You wanted to play. It's a weird dynamic that's going on right now. And when the internet hit, you had a modem. And then you had to put the phone on the modem to get your computer to connect. And then when you had dial-up, it was a wrap. There was no phone calls until you got off the computer. So it was busy again. Oh, so speaking of which, the party lines, I forgot the three-way calls. When people had three-ways and girls would try to get you caught up, or we'd try to find out who liked who. The girl would call her girl and be like, shut up, all right. And then she'd call you and be like, yo, so you like my girl? And you'd be like, yeah. And then the next day, it'd be like, I heard you like me. I'm like, what? Because she was on the phone. Or do you have a girl? Nah, I ain't got no girl. And she be listening like, oh, you don't? Like, damn, got me. Because she was trying to do some shit. So you could lie pretty good up until the three-way calls came. The three-way calls was crazy. Then, by the 90s, the super ruin your credit deal. I was in college. You sign up for like credit cards or calling cards or some shit, and they gave you free T-shirts. All for a free 1-800-COLLECT T-shirt.
Little phone tip. Next time you make a collect call, just dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's easy. Beep boop bop boop beep bop beep bop.
But you didn't sign up for mad shit, now your credit's fucked up. They don't mention that, but I'm gonna mention it because I lived it. But yeah, and we won't talk about the sex lines or the calling cards. You pay like $20 for an hour, and then you scratch it off, get the code to call in, and you only have 25 minutes. Phone life was crazy. Yeah, that's what this episode is. I thought about it because people were calling me, and I was like, damn, I hate talking on the phone. And I'm always depressed when I'm on the phone. Yeah, why you sound like, because I don't want to be on the phone. Or why you don't call them? Because I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone except for you guys that's listening. You guys are the only people I want to talk to. And some people at the bar when I'm having brunch. Anyway, look, I'm rambling. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you listening.
This is before everything changed.
Just turn the page to before everything changed.